Ahmad Suradji, also known as the Black Magic Killer, was a serial killer whose crimes shook the people of Indonesia and left an unforgettable mark on history. Suradji, a cattle breeder and traditional healer, committed his crimes under the guise of mysticism and superstition. Over several years, he murdered at least 42 women, burying their bodies near his home to increase his powers. In this video, we will dive deeply into the life of Ahmad Suradji, exploring how he manipulated his victims, the horrific rituals he performed, and the societal impact of his crimes. Ahmad Suradji was born on January 10, 1949, in Medan, North Sumatra, Indonesia. Growing up in a rural village, Suradji was exposed to strong beliefs in black magic and shamanism from a young age. He believed in the mystical powers claimed by traditional healers and shamanic rituals, which influenced his life deeply. As he matured, Suradji convinced himself that he possessed supernatural abilities and that he could achieve even greater powers by performing specific rituals. In his adult life, Suradji began to work as a traditional healer, using the villagers' belief in shamanism to gain their trust. People believed he could heal illnesses and bring fortune, but behind this image of a healer hid a much darker motive. Suradji saw himself as a powerful shaman who needed to carry out certain rituals to fulfill a spiritual calling that he claimed came to him in dreams. According to Suradji, a dream of his father had instructed him to kill 70 women and drink their saliva to gain ultimate power. To carry out his horrific plan, Suradji used his reputation as a healer to attract women seeking help for various personal issues. He lured his victims by promising that he could improve their lives, whether through financial success, romantic prospects, or spiritual cleansing. Once he had them under his influence, he would take them to a secluded sugarcane field near his home, claiming that rituals needed to be performed there. What awaited these women was a shocking ritual. Suradji would bury them up to their waist, telling them it was a step in the ceremony. But instead of helping them, he would strangle them, drain their saliva, and bury them facing his house, believing this would amplify his powers. The truth about Suradji's gruesome acts surfaced in April 1997 when a local girl went missing after seeking help from him. Her family reported her disappearance, and police, after investigating, uncovered the shallow graves of multiple women buried in a ritualistic manner. As the investigation continued, it became clear that this wasn't the act of a regular criminal. This was the work of someone who believed he was fulfilling a dark, mystical calling. Suradji confessed to the murders, and police discovered more bodies around his property, each one reinforcing the magnitude of his horrific acts. Suradji openly confessed to the murders, describing his twisted beliefs and rituals without showing remorse. He explained how he believed that drinking his victims' saliva would increase his powers, and that their bodies, buried facing his house, would bring him prosperity. His lack of guilt and insistence that he was following supernatural guidance left the investigators and society in disbelief. This self-proclaimed spiritual mission he followed highlighted the dangerous extent to which beliefs in black magic could drive someone to commit monstrous acts. Suradji's trial sparked a strong reaction across Indonesia. People were horrified not only by the brutality of his crimes, but also questioned his beliefs and the community's attachment to mystical figures. In court, Suradji spoke about the power he claimed to gain from his victims' deaths, but experts argued that this was merely a sign of madness. This case illuminated the complex relationship between Indonesian society and its deep-rooted beliefs in mysticism. In the end, Suradji was found guilty in 2008 and sentenced to death. However, before his execution could be carried out, he died in prison in Medan in 2008. Suradji's crimes were not just isolated tragedies, but also sparked a broader societal conversation about Indonesia's deeply ingrained superstitions and common beliefs in healing powers. Many struggled to comprehend how Suradji manipulated people by portraying himself as a healer, preying on the fears and desperation of village women to lure them to their deaths. His actions illustrated the dark influence of mysticism, showing the potentially dangerous impact it can have on people's lives. The society began to question what it meant to trust a healer, fearing how dark forces might manipulate people into tragedy. Ahmad Suradji's story is a disturbing example of how belief in superstition and mystical powers can drive someone down a dangerous path. While some may see Suradji's actions as the work of a madman, his story raises deeper questions about how far societies will go in the pursuit of dark, mystical forces. Suradji gained the trust of villagers by posing as a healer, which allowed him to lure many women to their deaths. His murders represent not just an individual's dark psyche, but a societal vulnerability to desperation and blind trust. This story serves as a reminder of the powerful lessons around power, faith, and mistrust. Ahmad Suradji's life leaves us all with a haunting question: how might dark forces truly influence us?